Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been months since I put out a new video, but I'm back. I'm excited. I have video ideas and things like that. But today's video is going to be my February TBR. Now, with February, I'm participating in the Contemporary-thon, Valentine's, and Blackathon, two of which are full month readathons. Contemporary-thon is 1 week, and I'm not going to be including those TBRs in this video. I'm going to do a separate video for them. So this TBR video is a bit on the shorter side compared to months that will come along, but yeah, let's get right into it. If you haven't subscribed already, you should do that. First up on my February TBR is two books that is really one slot because I don't know which book I want to read. I have a goal for this year where I want to read a classic or a reread a month. In the case of these two books, they're both a classic and a reread because I read them both in high school, not these versions obviously, but I don't know which one I'm going to pick up. So I have The Great Gatsby here, of course, by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and then I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and I decided to start with possibly these two because I remember really enjoying them in high school more than I enjoyed other classics that we had read, and so it really is going to depend what my mood is, whether I want to pick up the dazzling and classy Great Gatsby or the really, really depressing and romantic Wuthering Heights. Next book is A Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and you know, I'm a mess because I bought this book months ago and I was like, I'm gonna read it. I have another one of her books. Where is it? I have Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo, which very drastically different, I know that, but I don't even know if I like the woman's writing, and I've had to stop myself multiple times from buying Six of Crows because I love the concept, but I don't know if I like her writing it, and so I finally want to start this book, and if I like it, move on to the other two books, which are Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. And then also Six of Crows duology, and then the King of Scars duology is out, and then of course Wonder Woman, which is a totally separate DC icon thing. But this is basically in the Grishaverse, and it says Soldier, Summoner, Saint. Orphaned and expendable, Alina Starkov is a soldier who knows she may not survive her first trek across the Shadow Fold, a swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. But when her regiment is attacked, Alina unleashes dormant magic not even she knew she possessed. And then she enters this lavish world of royalty and intrigue. And she trains with the Grisha, her country's magical military elite, and falls under the spell of their notorious leader, the Darkling. And then there's some more stuff, but I'm a glutton for this. I'm a glutton for like royalty and fantasy. I'm a glutton for romance and fantasy, and the only thing that can make this suck is if her writing sucks and if the plot isn't done well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. Right, yeah. Neal Shusterman. Also had this for months, and I just want to get to it. I really want to get to it. I have a feeling it's going to be really, really amazing. My wrap-up isn't out yet, but it will be in early days of February. But I read Challenger Deep, which is also by Neal Shusterman, and I love that book. Completely different. It's not fantasy, it's contemporary, it deals with mental illness, but just the writing was so amazing. It's one of my favorite books now. It's so amazing, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that amazing writing transfers over into this fantasy book. And so Scythe, there are these people called Scythes, and we follow two apprentices of Scythes, and basically humanity has developed to the point, or evolved to the point, where we've even conquered death, and so the only way to maintain the population is to decide to kill people, and that's what Scythes do. And that's really all I know about this book, but I'm intrigued, and I'm glad that I don't know a lot about it because I'm not gonna say my expectations are low, but it can only go up from here, if that makes any sense at all. Next, we have 2 books by the same author. My wrap-up's not out yet, but when it will be, you will see that I finally, after having this book on my shelf for probably 2 years, I finally read Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I did it. I loved it. I don't know if I like it better than Mortal Instruments. It's been a few years since I read the Mortal Instruments. I need to dig them out of storage and read them again because I'm falling back in love with the Shadowhunter universe. And I don't know which couple I like best. I don't know if I like Jason Clary or Emma and Julian. And also, side note, Cassandra Clare knows how to write an amazing forbidden romance. I don't know how she trained to do this. I don't know where she gets her inspiration, but I mean, she makes you really want 2 people to be together who just, for all intents and purposes, should not be together. So, following that, the second and last book on my just general TBR is, of course, Lord of Shadows. And as we all know, Queen of Air and Darkness came out in December. So, when I bought this one, I bought Queen of Air and Darkness because I was like, I fell in love with Lady Midnight. I fell in love with what's happening in the world. I fell in love with the Blackthorns and Emma. And so I am on this train to the end. And this follows the very interesting and amazing events that happened in Lady Midnight. I'm not going to go into the specifics of this book because it is a sequel, but essentially you have the Blackthorns and you have Emma Carstairs. They run, or they are in the Los Angeles Institute, and they have to prevent something bad from happening. That's like every fantasy book ever, prevent something bad from happening. I don't really know how to describe it. But there's, of course, shadow hunters, there's fairies. Julian's brother Mark, older brother Mark, who at the end of the Mortal Instruments series, you know, is no longer a part of the family for whatever reason. He's back in Lady Midnight, and they are teaming up, him, Emma, Julian, and this girl named Christina, who's staying at the Institute, along with the younger Blackthorns, to go on this quest to bring this murderer to justice. And that's what Lady Midnight is about. And then the events at the end of Lady Midnight is where Lord of Shadows picks up. And I'm very excited. I look forward to reading this. It's a chunky one. Last book on my general TBR is another book by Cassandra Clare that a lot of these books I've had on my shelves for too long, and so I'm finally getting to them, and I'm glad about it. And in true fashion of me falling back in love with the Shadowhunters universe, I plan on reading, what is this? Oh, Clockwork Angel. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I consider this a prequel to the Shadowhunters universe. It's still a trilogy. We have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. And I say it's a prequel because it takes place in Victorian era England, I believe. Oh yeah, Victorian England. We follow Tessa, Will, and Jem. Essentially, when Tessa Gray crosses the ocean to find her brother in Victorian England, something terrifying is waiting for her in London's downworld. Kidnapped by the mysterious Dark Sisters, who are members of a secret organization called the Pandemonium Club, Tessa soon learns that she has the power to transform into another person. The Magister, the shadowy figure who runs the club, will stop at nothing to claim Tessa's power for his own. Friendless and hunted, Tessa takes refuge with the Shadowhunters, warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons. She soon finds herself fascinated by and torn between 2 best friends, James and Will. As Tessa is drawn deep into a plot that threatens to destroy the Shadowhunters, she realizes that she may need to choose between saving her brother and helping her new friend save the world, and that love may be the most dangerous magic of all. Most dangerous magic of all. I should probably finish the sentence, right? I probably want to fall in love with this series. These are the books that I want to read in February that are not attached with any of the readathons that I'm doing. Like I said, that's going to be a separate video. My TBR for this month is very ambitious. My TBR for January was ambitious. Oh, we're falling away. And I stuck to it kind of, but not really. But I think February is going to be a good month for me following TBRs and just reading books that I've had on my shelf forever, but also reading new new books that I've recently acquired, which I'm really super excited about to show you. Alright, so I ended the video and then I realized that I missed a completely separate section. This here, where is it? This is my TBR jar, and basically what I do is every book on my shelf that I have not read is in this jar. Not including the books in storage, but you know, we can't all be perfect. But so, and what I do every month is I pick out 3 books from this jar to add to my TBR. So on top of the 6, okay, I can't hold both of these at once. So on top of the 6, but really 5, because I'm either going to read Wuthering Heights or The Great Gatsby. On top of these books, I'm going to pick 3 books from here to add to that list. And let me just tell you what each of the different colors represent, because each color has a genre that goes with it. So red is sci-fi and fantasy, both young adult and adult. Pink is romance, contemporary, and new adult. Orange is nonfiction and poetry. Purple is graphic novels, comics, and manga. Green is young adult, contemporary, and middle grade, anything. And then white is thriller, mystery, and just overall general literary adult fiction. I will say that I recently ran out of red construction paper, and so some of the fantasy is just on white construction paper and it's scribbled with red. But yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna pick 3. Hopefully they're not all fantasy. That happened once in a TBR video where they all end up being fantasy picks to the point where I had to pick a 4th one. Red, fantasy, or sci-fi, but knowing me, it's probably fantasy. Alright, oh, Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I'm torn because Caraval is on a TBR for a readathon. So does it count as cheating? Does it not count as cheating? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm gonna think about it as the video goes on. Let's see what else I pick. Oh, green. Ooh. Ooh. So, this is actually a young adult fantasy before I changed my coloring a little bit. And this is A Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. I love Rick Riordan. I'm a huge fan of the Percy Jackson series and everything else. But for some reason, I started The Ship of the Dead months ago and I just could not finish it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the Magnus Chase series where, I don't know, I'm not like prompted to finish it, but I always said I would come back to it. So I'll count this one. We'll see if we'll get there. We'll see if we get there. Oh man, that's... Another green. Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. I am in... Whoa. Oh my god. Okay, so I picked Ship of the Dead again because apparently there's a duplicate in here. This isn't working out the way I thought it would be. So I'm gonna pick again. I have one that's on a TBR already. I have another one that I'm not too excited about, and then the third one I picked was a replica of the one I'm not too excited about. So usually this works in my favor. We have a purple. Purple, graphic novels, comics, or manga. So this is Misfit City Volume 1. Okay. I've been meaning to like pick that up. Okay. And I'm gonna get all these at the end and tell you what they're about and everything like that and do that whole spiel again. Alright, so I picked Ship of the Dead, I picked Misfit Cities Volume 1, and I also picked Caraval. And Caraval is on another TBR, so I'm going to pick for a 4th time and not count Caraval towards this TBR jar. That is my plan. A pink. Ooh. Ooh, romance, contemporary, new adult. Okay. 2x2. Okay. 2x2 by Nicholas Sparks, which is a thick romance. One of his thickest ones. Alright, BRB while I go get these books. Alright, so here are the 3 books I picked. We'll start with Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead. This is the 3rd book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. Magnus Chase is a... I don't even want to... Well, I guess he is a demigod. Yeah, he's a demigod. In the first book, he, like, dies and goes to this place that I forgot because I haven't read the series in a really long time and it didn't catch my attention like the other Ricardo books. And I got pretty far. This thing's dusty. I got pretty far and then I just couldn't. And so should I start from the beginning? Should I start from the beginning and try it? I think I'm going to start from the beginning. Against my better judgment, I'm going to start from the beginning and try and go all the way through. Then we have Misfit City Volume 1. I've had this probably for over a year. Smothered by her backwater hometown and frustrated by its 1980s cult movie fame, Wilder's pretty sure she's seen everything Cannon Cove has to offer. She's desperate to get away from home as soon as she can and move on to bigger, better, and less annoying things, even if that might mean leaving her best friends behind. But when Wilder discovers a central pirate map, she may find out that real adventure was in their tiny town all along, and they need each other to get to the bottom of it. The artwork seems pretty cool. This is the artwork. So I don't know why I never picked this up. I really don't. It just never called to me, but now that it's, you know, by the TBR, I'll read it. And then we have 2x2 by Nicholas Sparks. This is chunky. This is chunky, you know, and I just, wow. Wow. Alright. At 32, Russell Greene has it all. A stunning wife, a lovable 6-year-old daughter, and a successful career as an advertising executive. But underneath the shiny surface of this perfect existence, fault lines are beginning to appear, and no one is more surprised than Russ when he finds every aspect of the life he took for granted turned upside down. In a matter of months, Russ finds himself without a job or a wife, caring for his young daughter in London while struggling to adapt to a new and baffling reality. When a chance encounter with an old flame tempts him to take a chance on love again, he will navigate this new opportunity with trepidation and wonder. In the hard-won lessons of fatherhood, Russ will finally come to understand the true nature of conditional love. That is a treasure to be bestowed, never earned. Alright, so it shouldn't be too bad, but I don't know. I like when Nicholas Sparks books. Yes, Nicholas Sparks books are like quick and like whatever. Not saying that this won't be quick, but the size always scared me, even though I just, you know, conquered a bunch of big books. But yeah, these are the books I picked from the TBR jar. I will be adding them to my general February TBR. God help me. Alright, and now we can cut to the end clip that I recorded before I forgot. I'm glad I'm back. Just putting those down there. Please, if you have any video ideas, leave them down in the comments below. If you are excited about any of these books, if you plan on reading them, or if you have read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and of course, share. And I'll see you next time. Bye!